Hello Achievers, welcome to Shakti's Knowledge Hub, myself Dr. Shakti Suganya. In our previous video, we have discussed about the topic planning and its objective, purpose, reason or the objective why planning is needed. That is what we have discussed. And in our today's discussion, we are going to see about the steps involved in planning. It means if we want to do a proper planning, what are all the sequential process, that is what are all the different steps we need to follow in order to make a proper plan. Let's see them in detail. Steps involved in planning. Planning is a process, therefore it contains number of steps within it. It is not necessary that a particular planning process or steps are valid for all the organization and for all type of plans. A planning process is suitable for large scale organization which may not be suitable for small organization. So planning is a process which is consist of a step by step activities, that is after the completion of one stage or step we need to go with the other step. So it is a continuous process, and also there is a mentioning that it is not necessary that this particular planning process. So we have a framework of how to make a plan, and this will be highly suitable to the big or a very large size organization, or it may or may not be suitable to the small organization. Just we have the overall and the outlined framework that we can use wherever it is possible to implement. And also that the planning is also having different types, and depends on the situation, depends on the organization, we can make some changes in those properly structured framework and we can use that as a planning process. Since various factors that go into planning process may differing from plan to plan or from organization to organization, the planning process or the steps given here is mostly applicable for the major programs, but with the minor modifications the process is applicable for all type of plans. So as we discussed in the previous thing, the same, this step is a template or a framework which is in common, and we can use that with some of the changes required according to the nature of plan and according to the organization, and it may getting vary from one to another. This is what the easily understandable pictorial representation for the concept planning, that is the steps involved in planning. So it is consist of number of steps. The reason why we are designing like this is after the completion of one step we will be going with the next step. So let's see what are all the steps involved in planning. The first one is identification of opportunities. What is the available opportunities or any of the thing we need to go for a plan, that we have to identify, and after that we have to establish those objectives. That is, objective is the main thing required for every organization we need to establish. So once the objectives is framed, we need to go with the next step called developing planning premises. So how we are going to plan for one particular objectives to be achieved. So once that is done, we will be going for the identification of alternatives. So as we have discussed in the previous many topics, that to choose one particular thing we will have so many alternatives. So out of those alternatives, which one will be best suitable? We have to identify what are all the different alternatives available. And the next is evaluation. We have to go through thoroughly the plus and minus of each and every alternatives. And the next is selecting the best alternative. Out of those available options or alternatives, we need to select which one is best based on the analysis. And formulating the derivative plan. So what is the plan we are going to do? Here is the place we are going to formulate, that is we will be starting working on it. And the last one is establishing the sequence of activities. So once after the planning is done, we need to go with the establishing of the sequential of activity, that is we are going to start what we have planned. And let's see about these things in a very detailed manner with the understandable example. The first one is identification of opportunities. Identification of awareness of the opportunity is the starting point of planning. First of all, we should identify the possible future opportunities and analyze them clearly and completely. From that, we should know. Like opportunities in the sense, we can take an example that we are going to start a new business. So that business is an opportunity. So in that, what are all the different possible business we can do or we can try from our point of view, that we have to collect various information related to that and we have to analyze, and finally we should be very clear and have to make a proper analysis in a thorough and complete manner, that this is what our opportunity and this is what we are going to do. We have done with everything. and this is applicable to all the situations. So we can compare this example with any situations wherever is possible to execute, and from that we should know. So if we are planning and if we have decided or identified the opportunity, we should know like where we stand. According to our example, we are going to start a new business, and what is our strength and weakness. So if we want to do a business, means what are all the strength and weakness we have from our point of view. We have already know about the SWOT analysis. If you not yet seen that video, go through it. Definitely you will get an idea of what is that SWOT analysis is. SWOT. And what problem we wish to solve and why. So if we have a plan to do that business, we want to know about all the plus and minus, that is the strength and weaknesses. If you get to know that there is some weaknesses or some of the minus or problem, how or in what way we are going to solve those problem and why we need to solve that. And the last one is what we expect to gain. What is the purpose of starting a business? To find a profit, to get popularity in the society. Likewise, we have so many reasons for starting of a business. Once the opportunities are perceived from the availability, the other steps of planning are undertaken. So you have decided this is what the business or this is what the nature of work or job you are going to do, and we are going to start the further steps in planning process. So the second is establishment of objectives or goals. So the first thing is we have decided that I am going to do a business. For our example, we can take a toy manufacturing company. So our decision to do a business is a toy manufacturing company. So we have decided. And the second is establishment of the objectives or goal. We have to set an objective or goal for our business, what we are going to do. So if you want to run or if you want to start your toy manufacturing business, what to be your goal or what is the objective? Like children's will be your focus, and this variety of toys I am going to manufacture, and within this year I am going to attain this position. Likewise, we have to fix all the short term and long term goals or objectives of the business. So the next step in planning is to establish the objectives of the entire organization, and then for each subordinate units, objectives specify and indicate the result expected. So we have to fix the long term and short term objectives of the whole organization and department wise, that is the subordinate. In each and every different steps and stages we need to fix the objective. Likewise, we should be very clear and we have to work on it. And what is to be done, that is what we are going to do or what we need to do. Where is the primary emphasis is to be placed. So if I want to do my business, that is this toy manufacturing company, where I should start, or in what way, or in which location, or in what are all the other aspects to be considered while starting my business, and what is to be accomplished by the various type of plans. So what are all the different type of plans I need to do for my business, or what are all the other steps I need to take. In that we are going to see one of the important aspects to be considered. The organizational objective should be specified in all key result areas. So the organization's objective, the objective for what purpose we are doing the business, that should be very specified and that should match with the key result area. And this key result area is shortly called as KRA. It means which are important for the organization in achieving its objective. That is, if you want to achieve your objective, so what's your objective? After certain year, I want to attain this position. I want to attract the customers as the children's, that is the children is your focus people, and likewise you will have some of the objectives. By the end of 50th year, I have to attain this much profit. So these are all the different things were considered as the objective for your business. So you have to achieve those objective, in the sense you need to focus on those key result areas. That is, the areas or the points which you need to focus more to attain your objective is called as the key result areas. So here the key result areas may be profitability, sales, research and development, manufacturing and so on. So the focuses, the areas where you need to put more of your focuses to attain those objectives is called as the key result area. So some of the areas like profitability, you need to attain a profit. So through which way? The possibility is through sales, and that sales is possible only when you are going with the research and development. So what is the need or demand of the product in the market or maybe among the customers, and in what way you can do the best manufacturing one. Likewise, we have to do or we have to consider about all those key result areas. And the third one is developing planning premises. So we should start to develop the planning activity. Planning premises are the assumptions that should be made about the various elements of the environment. So we have to consider and think about the environment, that is the nearest and internal and external surrounding of our business. Though about this thing we have talked about the business environment in some of the previous videos. So the assumption, you need to go with some of the assumption or the prediction about your environment. It provides the basic framework in which the plans operate. These premises may be internal or external. So definitely that will give you a good idea, so you can work and proceed accordingly. Internal premises includes the organizational policies, resources of various types, sales forecasting, and the ability of the organization to withstand the environmental pressure. So here they are considering the two things, that is the two premises aspect. One is the internal, that is within the organization, and the other one is external organization. To do a plan, you need to go with some of the assumption, and that assumption should be matching to your organization, that is your business environment, and that can be both internal and external. So here internal in the sense the organizational policy, what is the policy of your business, and what are all the resources available in your business, and how you can predict your sales, that is what may be the possibility in your sales, and the ability of the organizations to withstand in the competitive business environment. So these are all the internal points to be considered within the organization. And the external premises in the sense some of the factors or some of the things that is causing outside the organization. So in the business environment subject itself we have discussed about this, like political environment, social, technological, competitors, and plan and action that may be done by the competitors side, and also by some of the government policies. So you should be very clear with all this thing. So once with this thing is done, we have to go with the next step, the fourth one, called the identification of alternatives. So we have a different alternative choices. Alternative means choices. We have so many alternatives, so we have to identify each and everything, like what are the different possibilities we have in hand. Based on the organizational objectives and the planning premises, various alternatives of plan can be identified. A particular objective can be achieved through a number of ways. So your objective is same, but you can face it or you can achieve it through different ways. So that you need to identify. All the alternatives cannot be analyzed. So it is not necessary that you need to go with the analysis of each and every alternatives in a detailed manner. It is enough to go with the analysis for certain alternatives that you feel that it will be okay for your business. And some alternatives can be rejected. So something you didn't feel that it is not required, that you can reject it in the preliminary stage itself, that is in the initial stage itself. And such a market conditions, skilled labors and techniques available, etc. So depends on all those things you have to consider, and you have to go with the proper analysis and identification of those alternatives. And the next step is evaluation of alternatives. We have to evaluate or we have to examine each and every selected alternative in a detailed and thorough manner. The alternatives considered for the analysis according to preliminary criteria may be taken for further evaluation. So you have taken 10 thing as an alternative in list. So out of that you just shortlisted or you have taken out 5. So out of those 5 you have to analyze in a thorough manner all its plus and minuses, all the nearest and all the related factors which is relevant to those each and every alternatives. Each alternative course of action is evaluated on basis of profitability. So you have to consider all the things like the evaluation, kind of the appraisal. So you have to consider and you have to mark all the available opportunities, and you have to mention all the factors. So in each and every factor, like quality wise, price wise, the availability of raw materials, the market requirement, likewise you have to consider each and everything. Imagine if all the 5 products is compared with all the 5 important factors. So you have to identify like A is good in all these 5 things, like raw material availability, market condition, the product price fixation, the manufacturing easiness. Likewise you have fixing some of the criterias. And in case of product B, you have only 2 option as a good one, and in case of 3 you have 3 options as good one. Likewise you have to consider in all the way, then finally you will come to know which one will be the best thing. Like each alternative course of action is evaluated on the basis of its profitability, the capital investment, risk involved, the gestation period, etc. It presents the problem because each of these alternatives may have certain advantages and disadvantages too. So according to our example, we are planning to do a business called a toy manufacturing. So we consider 5 different toys, that is different 10 toys we have listed, and out of that we listed and shortlisted with the 5, and among those 5 we are considering all this risk, things like risk involved in business, what is the capital you need to invest. Likewise, we have considered 5 criteria. So among this all, we will come to know which one will be the best, and we will get to know what are the advantages and disadvantages of doing each and everything. Then we have to move with the next step, and here the next step is selecting the alternative. So out of those 5 alternatives and discussion and analysis of all those things, we are going to select the best one. So as per the example, what we discussed, A is best in all the 5 criteria. So after the evaluation of various alternatives, the most appropriate course of action is selected. If more than one alternative is suitable, then both are compared and choose the best from the suitable alternatives for execution. When the situation changes and the selected plan does not provide to be the best, the other alternative may be tried. So out of those 5, we feel that A and D is best because A is good with all the 5 criteria which is matching, and D is good with the other, again the same 5 criteria. So if only one is available, we can go with the A directly. Instead, if we have 2 alternatives, we have to compare both, and out of that, it is a situation like tie. Which one will be the best one? So we can select the best and we will be going for the further proceeding. And the next is formulation of derivative plans. The derivative plan are formulated on the basis of the major plan. There are several minor plans required to support and execute the major plan, and these plans are known as derivative plans. Various derivative plans are planning for buying equipments, buying raw materials, recruitment and training of personnel, developing new products, etc. So you decided that A is the final thing you are going to select and you are going to execute. So for that, you have to make a further sub plans for that A. So A is finally selected, and A is consist of so many factors to be considered and to be proceed. So it's things like buying of equipments, what is the equipments I need to buy, and the raw materials, and recruitment and selection of human resource, and how to develop the product, likewise, and how to make a marketing strategies for those particular product. Likewise, you have to make a sub plans for those main plans. So this is the main plan, and you have to go with the further proceedings. And the next step is, that is the last one, establishing the sequence of activity. After the formulating basics and the derivative plans, the sequence of actions is determined so that the plans are put into action. While formulating the derivative plans, a built-in mechanism should be created for periodic reviews and updating of various plans whenever necessary. The starting and finishing times are fixed for each piece of work so as to indicate when and within what time that work to be commenced and completed. So the complete sequential operation of that particular product. So we decided which business to do, and out of those business, which type of products we are going to select. We found 10, and out of the 10 we found and we have shortlisted with 5, and out of those 5 we considered and compared all the criterias. Then again we got with the 2, and out of those 2 alternative we came with 1, and that final alternative is having a all other sub criteria to be considered, that is sub plans we have made, and everything has been planned and everything has been designed as a pre-work. Then we will make it as a execution. We will start to put the thing into action. So that action will be based on all the plans and sub plans what we have done. And finally, it is the complete activity, like when to start and how to start, at what time we need to start, and when it will get complete. Likewise, each and everything will be mentioned in a very clear and thorough manner. So this is what about the establishing the sequence of activity. So it means once after the planning is completely done, we will be making into action. We will be putting those plan into action in a step-by-step way. All the details has been structured and planned in the thorough manner. So with this, the steps in planning is done, and we are going to discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of planning in the next topic. Mention your requirements in the comment box or the mail ID which we have given in the about page, and also Mention all the doubts or clarification you want to clear with. We'll see you all soon. Shatter the breakbends and relish your success journey. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day. Bye.